y'all? It's your girl, Ra Ali.
And it's your boy, Louis the Don, Mr. Kiloke himself.
And it's Cash, your sexologist bestie.
Have no fear, Mr. Organic is here, a.k.a. JDR, one of them ones.
And who are we, y'all?
On the contrary.
On the contrary.
Yes, welcome back, y'all. I missed y'all.
Yeehaw!
I'm getting tired of not seeing y'all,
We back, better than ever.
I thought you would have got tired of us because we be bugging the out. Last time you saw us, me and this one had untouching sex.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
that was mental conniption.
They done shook the
Like
chair.
cone
Yeah,
heads.
mental.
The cone heads. Remember cone heads when they put their hands like
Oh, yeah,
this
the
and they'll be
cone
like,
heads.
They be like,
Shout out to the cone
Left
heads.
us on that cliffhanger. Don't
for
think we
real.
forgot.
We didn't forget.
Oh, y'all did, huh?
And I want to let
Y'all
you
ready
guys
for it,
know.
huh?
Y'all
Y'all
better
ready
ask
for me
in
to
them
tell you what went
comments.
on and
Y'all
who it
better
was
ask.
with?
Yes, I want to let you guys know. I am diligently still working on it. This has not folded. So,
Okay.
ladies, I just want to be clear. That means he could keep a secret.
Yeah, I got to.
Clear that up.
No matter what, I talk and tell my stories, which is already enough because some people feel some type of way about them because my stories is pure. But I can't give names though. You know what I'm saying? So
That means he don't kiss and tell.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Gotta respect
We
that.
all
man.
know we hate a that run his
Yeah,
jig.
that's
Yeah.
it. I mean,
Yeah.
And that ain't got
I
nothing
could
to that ain't got nothing to do with telling me.
right.
I was about to say,
tell
while
me.
I was
I know,
about
right?
to say,
Like,
while I
but
respect
Tell
that,
me, bro.
Right. That don't
We
count.
here.
really turned the
tell
cameras off like
Initial
who he was. Like,
we
harassed me.
need a little confessional booth.
Damn.
Yeah.
We really
Right.
didn't get any info, y'all.
Yeah, I can't
promise,
Yeah, we
but
don't
still
know.
ask the question.
But still, let's talk about it in his comments.
Yeah.
Yes.
Comment below. Let me know who y'all think it is though.
Because let me tell you how crazy Cash is. Cash was trying to read his text messages through his glasses.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I really
That was
was
good.
I
That
really
was
was.
I think she was successful and pretended that she wasn't. So
Oh,
she
yeah.
may have a T too. in that time.
Keep it to yourself. Keep it to
I
yourself.
wish
Yeah.
call me.
If I didn't,
Cash,
I,
call me, girl.
I got you. Call
Call me too, girl. Call me too.
We discovered here in Mr. Organic's glasses.
Yes. Keep it on the low though. I'm not the daddy. I had a vasectomy.
I'm not the daddy.
We know you got that semen
Come
stored
on
up.
now.
Okay, you know
I
what I'm
do.
saying?
I want triplets right away. That's what I want to do.
Oh,
Favorite
really?
number
That's
3,
what
yeah.
I'm
I want
Talk about kids. I feel like you get another thing.
I know, my bad.
That I
yeah.
didn't
want
know.
triplets.
Really?
For
That's
the rip.
dope.
That's what I'm
Dope.
saving it for. Like, if a girl don't want that, we can't do it. 'Cause that's what I need.
Triplets in one shot?
Oh, what about twins? Twins is good
Twins
too.
cool, but my favorite number 3. People call me 3. So I got the third eye. I got the third leg. Keep throwing it in there now. They call me 3 for a reason. But yeah, I'm going to need triplets.
Say less.
The pressure to put that kind of pressure on a woman to make her feel like she got to carry 3 babies in her stomach at one time, it's not fair.
I'm not a fair mom.
So, but you could have one
But
as
you-
well, right? You're fine
she
with
gonna
if
have
she
a
has
nanny,
one,
right?
I'm going to shoot for what I shoot for. And then if it goes the other way, then she got
then
to
cool.
Or you could get
go. No, I'm
3
saying,
women.
yeah. I
pregnant
thought about
at
that
the
too.
same
I
time.
wanted 3.
Yeah.
I wanted to try that. I just had them all bent over and just
He
bam,
said,
bam, bam,
"What up,
bam.
sir?"
Low,
That's
low,
still
low.
triplets.
Get them all a little bit.
They just
Would
different.
you? Would
Get them
you?
all a little bit. Whoop, whoop,
You're
whoop.
gonna make sure there's a nanny in place, correct?
Yeah, we're gonna have nanny for sure. Cooks and all that. Don't be doing all that shit, baby. I wish I had a baby. We're gonna have cooks and nannies and
'cause
goddamn.
carrying 3 shouldn't
But
just-
that really people kind of like sometimes look at that and out like black people of course like that's so ridiculous. But in all
No,
honesty,
you
it
need it.
really is. If it's structured and there's a
Yes.
schedule, it really has to do with it's productive. It's
It
Yes.
is. It is. It preserves the
You-
out of the mouth.
your mental. It's not as crazy as it's looked out to be.
Right.
Like I feel like my mom. I started out from the beginning with it. I feel like my mom was like, "Where's this girl from? Like, who does this?"
Different.
And I'm like, "You're not gonna make me feel bad about making the choices I make that makes things." It really helps your rest. You could be a better person. You could
Sometimes
be a
you gotta
better.
pay for the village.
Right.
Okay, like I don't. My brother Hakeem.
This goes
Talk
out
to
to
him.
you.
He's tried to like drag me a couple times and everything about it, but I really just think that it's something that all women should exercise their right to do. Some people are not exposed to it, so they might think like, but if you do your homework, you make sure that the people or the person is, obviously someone trustworthy.
Yeah, it
You
has
keep
to be.
cameras on them at all times.
Mandatory.
Trackers, all that stuff to
Damn
make
right.
sure that you take
Damn, a
extra
tracker?
steps.
That
Oh,
was-
yes.
That was a good one right
And the
there.
person
Absolutely.
who helps with my children is a family member who I would rather financially support, who's
that's
damn
dope.
good with them kids. I know they eat great. You know what I'm saying? She got her
That's
mama's.
still a nanny. Even if
Yeah,
it's a
it's a
family
nanny.
member,
Yeah, it's a
regardless,
nanny.
it's still a nanny.
Yeah.
If it's still great, that's wonderful.
And I'm going to pay.
Yeah.
That's
go.
I literally have shaped all of my career goals around the shit I don't want to pay for.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would definitely, I'd be okay with
sense.
having a nanny for my girl. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Yeah.
she gonna be had to handle business too. So
Yeah,
can't
she
be
has
sitting
to
in the house.
work. She got things to do.
I don't want you to sit in the house and clean. No, we hired that. We getting money.
Right.
I don't want no Cinderella. I done said that now.
Right.
We
But
got the
also,
grinding to do.
it affects how you show up for your children. So I don't,
definitely.
you notice that you're less snappy. You're not as, you know what I'm saying? You have a support around you. So when you interact with your children, they're getting the best
Yeah.
parts of you in a way that,
And it's
you know,
there's no, I even think that this applies when it comes to business. People who try to do every
Facts.
single thing, it does take a toll on them
Yep.
mentally, emotionally. When you have a support team and everybody has a job to do, it's a happier ending. So I think it's good that people are getting more into it and being more
it's
receptive
more normal.
to it.
I was going to say it's more
Yeah.
normalized because they say it takes a village, you know.
You get
but-
far by yourself, but you get further with a team.
Let's
That's how
just
it
jump
works.
into the topic of the week, y'all.
Well, you know, it's a family topic, so it's kind of, you know, kind of convenient,
We're
right?
going to go in a different order than we usually do. We usually do the question of the week, but let's just jump into that because it's really talking about what we're talking about right now, which
Right.
is
Right.
when is a good time to have kids?
That's crazy. We just
That's
talked about
that's
that
a
earlier.
tough
Well, we know that
question.
you're prepared by
I'm
storing
prepared.
them up,
Yeah,
right?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Like
know my
you
man
what I
wants some
It's
triplets.
strategic. Yeah, I want triplets. You know, I want triplets from the rip. You know what I mean? I got my semen stored and ready to be, inserted.
So when do you feel
You mean
it's
that
the
literally
right
like
time?
you have it
Yeah,
frozen and all
yeah.
that?
so
I had to
it's
go for 6 weeks, and they saved it for 6 weeks. So for me, and then I don't want no surrogate. You're gonna come out your baby. Don't be like I can put a surrogate. God, now you're doing too much. You're gonna have them.
Ask you that. So.
Yeah. Beat you to the point. Yeah, well, you're gonna have that, baby. You gotta come out your body. You know what I'm
got
saying?
terms and conditions.
Yeah,
You got a
wanna
whole
put
contract.
you gonna put in a whole other person. That kind of weird to me. I don't know what. My kid ain't come out nobody else. Come to me.
I
know what it is,
think it's unless the woman, has health risks or
Yeah.
challenges that might make the pregnancy dangerous for her. Then
Yeah.
I think a surrogate is very reasonable.
Some women can't carry.
Yeah, they
throughout the
can't
whole-
carry
Some women
down.
have careers that they're in. You know what I'm saying?
He said, yeah.
Yeah, God
Yeah,
bless them.
God
you know
bless
what I mean?
them. Right,
I'm gonna make sure that from the beginning when we even talk about it, we're gonna go find that situation first. If you can't have kids, that's fine. I gotta have me a full reproductive human like me.
Well, you know that the mortality rate for Black women is a little higher, so that's why I say that.
hey.
And look, we talking about a trigger warning, kind
Yeah.
of topic.
That's
so
true,
For
that's
some
true.
women,
Yeah.
fibroids and things like that have
Yeah.
made it impossible for them to do certain
I ain't got no
things.
thyroid, so it's like
Hysterectomies.
God
know
bless
what?
her.
Not a thyroid,
You know what?
fibroid.
So it's God bless her. I'm perfect.
Don't
so
worry, ladies. I will
need to-
take him to school. After this episode, he's going to spend another 30 minutes on the couch with me
Okay.
while I walk him
Thank
through
you.
reproductive things for
At least
women.
I
Yeah,
ain't
I
got no
wanna know.
thyroid.
I supposed to have
Because who
thyroids.
said
or no?
I ain't got no
This is
fibroids, no
Intriguing, though.
thyroids,
Like, so
or
what
no
would
thyroids, and I don't
Definitely
take
not no-
steroids.
I don't either.
All
They be thinking I
roids?
do.
I don't
They
got
think
no
I do.
roids
I
at
ain't got
all.
no
I'm
hemorrhoids.
organic.
I don't got no
I
Altoids.
don't know about
Like,
that. Hurt now. Know what I'm saying?
what were you going to say, Louis?
So
I'm
it's
sorry.
intriguing to hear this, right? Because I would want to know, when would you say,
Yeah.
based on what you tell us
Yeah.
about how you deal with, the opposite sex, when would
Right.
you say would be a time frame for you to
Be ready
know
for
the
it.
woman
Yeah.
before you say, this is the woman I want to have kids
I had
with?
to. For me, I just know I'm so into myself that I know myself very well, and I know I'm an anointed individual. So I know it's gonna be like a soulmate twin flame type situation. I'm gonna know it when I see it, and I waited this long, so I'm not in a rush. So I know when I find that person, I'm gonna know that person. I'm gonna expedite the situation. So it's gonna be something real divine, and it's gonna happen. So we're gonna be quick. People gonna come out of
you're
nowhere like
marrying
that.
her?
Yeah, we're gonna do the whole shebang. I didn't come this far to go halfway. We're gonna do everything. I'm
What
with
if a
it.
hurdle comes around? Like, what if she says, I'm not having children? She's
Yeah.
your twin flame. You
Right.
feel that. She may feel it the same, but what if she says you have to put a ring on it?
Yeah, God bless her. God bless her. If she ain't gonna have the kids, then
He
it's
be
God bless
passing
her.
blessings out
Yeah,
left
I'm
and
gonna give
right
out.
this
If I God bless you, that means I want you out my existence. But yeah, it has to be the whole shebang, or I don't want it. That goes across the board. I'm not accepting nothing because I didn't accept that for myself on no level, so I can't accept it for my partner. I need everything like I got everything. That's just how I
Okay.
move. Yeah.
Respect it.
I mean, I respect
I'm
that.
ready
Gotta
now.
respect that point of view. That's that man's point.
I'm ready to get
of view.
married and
I
have
like-
kids.
We're gonna be doing a show, a spinoff called "For the Love of Mr. Organic."
Oh yeah, that'd be historical.
Yeah.
I'm
You
not
gotta
gonna
have a
lie.
separate
Lord have
segment,
mercy.
man.
Yeah, not no segment. We're gonna do a whole production.
That'd be
Go
crazy.
live on air.
Yes,
That'd be crazy.
yes, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be
I
fun.
want the auditions.
Yes.
would be
Yeah.
lit.
Can you
Yes.
do Dating Mr. Organic in your voice?
Dating Mr. Organic. If I'm thinking about it for a circumstance outside of mine, I think that that it's time with a person when you've had the tough conversations. I'll tell you this, I was engaged to be married and I had a marital counseling session that literally Like, this is a person I knew for 16 years, and this one question had me not walk down the aisle, right?
What was the question?
And the question was, if God forbid, should I die today or tomorrow, was that person prepared to take on the responsibility of raising the kids on their own? And their answer was very shaky. Like, they didn't feel like confident that they could do it by themselves, right? They was like, oh, well, what the family support? And it was like, he was like, no, if there was no family support and it was just planned in this world.
Most of them.
So I usually try to think about it like this. If I lay down with you, I want to already feel like you're somebody I would be okay having kids with, and then we could proactively make the decision to do so. But you know what I mean? If that makes sense.
It does. You know what sadly tends to happen too? You kind of make that decision, right? And then you find out when it's too late that they still may not have been the right person to have children with.
Yeah,
that happens
I mean,
most of the time.
And then, like, where do you go from there? Because those questions are now irrelevant. Now you have no choice but to be on your own. I had kids early. You know what I'm saying? So what can I really say or do? Situation was crazy. Moms had to, we had to give our rights up. You know, my mom's had to, it was just a messy situation.
A messy thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't wish that on anybody. So the answer for me would be really difficult to answer because it's really biased for me. But what I can say to people is that know your person and just be prepared just in case you thought you know your person that it may not work out.
Yeah, cause I find out a lot of the times people who have crazy baby mamas and daddies, they change after the kid comes. It's really not during or before.
Right.
It's just when it come off someone, but it get weird as you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like that's why
And a lot of people use the children as weapons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like not like human beings, but like this thing that they feel that they can leverage against a person. And you know, we see it all the time. You know, all over the internet, you always see these. Oh, now that they had the kids, this person is not letting me see them unless they know my exact longitude, latitude. I want
to.
So it's a lot of little different factors. But kids, at the end of the day, ultimately, like I think they get talked about like objects with their human beings, and you're to some degree responsible for how this person might turn out. So that's what I think. Like if I think that your value system and my value system is in alignment, and that I can trust that you're probably not going to raise a boy or a girl or whatever the case is, that's super important, you know. But yeah, I think your point though is that it's such a subjective question.
Very.
Like everybody doesn't have the same.
But still, the bottom line to me would be don't weaponize your children, right? And when it comes to your children, factor in that you guys are co-parenting, right? Whether you're together or not, you have to respect each other's decisions when it comes to that child. You can't, when you're not together, for example, you don't want to be the mother that says this one thing and then the father's explaining why your mother said that in a negative capacity. You have to explain to the child that this is why she said that and vice versa. No. Because I've seen way too many parents going back and forth because they feel that, you know, what I say has more value than what you say. When collectively as a team, you both want that child to be raised accordingly and have some type of level of success, even more success than you had as an individual parent.
Do you think that there's usually a more dominant parent?
Yeah, it would be dependent on, so like physical custody, for example. Mm-hmm. If your child is with you 80% of the time, that would be the dominant parent, but the other parent still has to respect the decisions and vice versa, right? It's not fair. And as men, I think we have real responsibilities when it comes to holding it down. Like when it comes to the mother of your kids, you have to understand, like you said, who has physical custody? Most of the time, it's the woman, right? Most of the time, the child lives with the woman. So when you have to deal with that, don't try your best not to give her the hard time. Try not to ask all the irrelevant questions. It doesn't matter. Yeah. What matters is your kid is eating, sleeping. She doesn't have some random dudes around her. How could you not be okay with that? But meanwhile, you have them on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, once a month, or, whatever your scheduling would be. Shit. I was a 50-50 guy. With my son, he lived with his mama, but I was trying to do my best to do 50-50 a large part of the time. A lot of the time, that didn't work out, but how I would substitute that was that if I can't factor monetarily, okay, I'm going to support you in another type of way. I'm going to take him to school every day. I'm going to take him to the library when he needs work on this, when he needs to do that, when he needs to do this. And, you can be a life coach for other fathers, but some people are so stubborn, they just don't hear you. They're like, nah, her, she made me do this. All right, but listen, bro, you did a lot to her too. If you can factor that in, if you understand what you did to cause her to be the way that she was, you kind of empathize with that. But we be so caught in our like, nah, because we're men, we're prideful. Yeah. Nah, I'm the dominant. Nah, this is what it's going to be because I said so. It's not always like that. You have to have a soft spot for the woman you decided to have children with, regardless of how she is. I could care, like crazy baby mamas, all that to me never factored. I could never have my current girlfriend arguing with my with my baby moms. They shouldn't even know that one or the other is saying anything negative about each other. That just doesn't make sense to me. And I don't respect situations like that.
Well, some guys incite that, like intentionally to make themselves look better in their circumstance. So a lot of times there's usually a guy, he gets with a woman, he's going to always tell the story. No one's going to intentionally say, I'm a boy and I don't take care of my kids. I pick them up, I put them down. That's not $30 for some shit. Like, nobody's telling you that. You know what I'm saying? If they know they ain't active, 9 times out of 10, they'll probably spin the narrative that she's keeping him from the kids and
that's what
yada,
it
yada.
Sounds like. Yeah.
It usually ends up being like that. And that's not obviously all the time, but it happens often. But I agree with you because, look, my scenario is I'm not a 2-parent household, right? And for me, in order for me to, like, I have a very free schedule in the sense that I work for myself, but the reality is for me to make any moves, I got to secure them first, right? If I don't feel well, right, I got to be prepared to have my village in. But if my son wakes up in the morning and he's like, Mommy, I want waffles, and I'm the only one there in that moment, I can't be like, sorry, babe. It's daddy's day, or sorry, but I'm going to take care of my child's need, right. So I think that consideration of, even if you know that person is the primary parent, and that could be the man is the primary parent too, they're likely going to be the one whose life is often having to be shaped around those children. So you have to take that consideration. But I think the other scenario that we haven't talked about is the 2-parent household, because that's a piece of the puzzle. And then also, like, when you're looking at a person, what are red flags that tells you, like, hell no, I ain't having a baby with you?
Yeah, you got to figure that out.
I think if you let a man talk, or a woman, and you just listen and you don't focus so much on what it is that you want to say in the conversations, they will tell you who they are. And sometimes women specifically are so in love with the idea of being in love that they disregard some of the things that are actually being said and all of the signs. So to me, I feel like interacting, dating, having fun is one thing, but you cannot allow yourself to think that this is a person that you are going to procreate with.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we're going to Red Lobster.
Right.
Because I want some cheddar biscuits right
now. Facts.
Then we're going to catch up on this Netflix special.
Cheddar biscuits.
That's
it.
You got some decent dick.
Yeah.
A good dick.
And
having a good time.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
And if I think you did a little drippy, I'm going to pop a Plan B like a Skittle. And
chew it up.
Chew
Do
it
you
up.
chew it or swallow? Which one?
You swallow
Raw ass is hungry though on the low. Because she done threw cheddar bacon.
Yikes.
Pop one of
Hey,
those.
we're supposed to be serious here.
Right.
I mean, but
No,
but we
right,
realists.
no, for
But
real.
we realists at the same time.
Yeah, but I think when it comes,
when
it comes to
shit
kids,
they say, also look at how they react to things.
Yeah.
When you hear them talk about things, look at how they respond to things and be like, gotcha.
Yeah.
And so no.
Mental notes.
Better take them notes. I just feel like when it comes to kids, that's the ultimate thing we could do on this earth as, humans, is create a kid. That's why I did what I did, and I take it very seriously. So I wouldn't want to make that mistake, and I thank God I didn't, because I seen the outcome of, from people in my family, people I've seen, close friends that it really railroaded their lives by doing that, like drastically. I mean, like people could have made hundreds of millions of dollars in being an athlete or certain positions, but they had these kids. Like, and me, I always, like, I don't got no kids, because I tell like, man, you got these kids, I got to do this, I can't do. I hate to say this, but you got to f them kids for a few years and go handle business so you can take care of the rest of their life.
But then it sounds like what you're saying is that the timing that it's right is when you've already had an opportunity to do those things, so you don't feel like you're missing out on them by the time you have the kids.
Yeah, that's how I feel. But yeah, if
I'm an adamant member of FTK.
Yeah.
Because I do believe the term, let me say this for the record, FTK is a term reserved for actual parents who do parent their children, who occasionally are entitled to say, you.
Right.
I got a whole song about it. I'm gonna have to send it to you.
Sure.
I made a
She
song.
always trying to do everything right. I be like, sis, them kids.
My song literally goes,
I got to go get it.
What?
Them kids.
Hey, I'm about to go and ride some.
Hey.
Them kids.
Hey. I'm about to go ride them. I'm gonna take them to the babysit. I'm gonna take them to the babysit. We gonna take them out because we done made the kids look like a dick.
That's crazy. I get it though. You got to go get it. You know what I mean? Like,
listen,
fuck them kids, man.
We need to remix next episode.
We can make new kids. Like you can't.
We gonna come.
I can make some more kids. I can't make me again.
We can make the video for it.
Ain't no other me.
Because you're entitled to have an opportunity to do something like that. And I'm a better mom when I had time to go say, fuck them kids. Come a little bit. I come back. I'll be like, hey, kids, what do you want to eat?
Straight up.
You know,
live your life.
But I do want to say one thing while we're on this, just because, look, I am an autism mom.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I think people don't always think about is you also don't know what factors you may potentially encounter in parenting.
Yeah.
Like no one, you know how you can read all those blogs, like what do you expect when you're having your first kid? But you don't know what to expect. And one of the things that a lot of people don't expect is their child getting a diagnosis, things like that.
Yeah,
so imagine, right?
Yeah, I'd be terrified.
Encountering a child who might have more needs than the average child, and then you've got a partner who's left you alone to deal with that. And there's some people who will flee at the sign of that kind of information. So this is why I say there are things you need to think about.
Sorry to cut you off. How many? You told us already. I just don't remember exactly. Which is
2.
How many? You have just 2.
2.
And it's a boy and a girl.
Both boys.
Both boys.
I actually... Trigger warning. I carried girls and I lost them. But
sorry to hear that.
Thank you, baby. I appreciate it. And my son came. He was my rainbow. After
How old are the boys?
So they're 9 years apart. One is 12 and one is 3.
Okay.
So and my eldest
so
is
your
the one who's on the
12-year-old
spectrum.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, is it the 3-year-old?
The 3-year-old
because I was gonna say, is the 12-year-old able to help with the 3?
But it's actually funny because they do, because my younger son has already been deemed as gifted. And then my older child, while he's not verbally communicative, his life skills are like, my son can cook. He makes me bacon, eggs, and pancakes. He'll dress his brother, give him a bath, all those types of things. He might not verbally say, but then this one will speak for his big brother. He'll be like, Peyton want pizza. I'm like, he told you?
Right.
He'd be like, yeah, Peyton told me. He was like, Peyton. I'll be like, they'd be like, we getting McDonald's. He'd be like, Peyton don't like McDonald's. Peyton like Burger King.
That's dope.
And so it's
What's
really
their names? I like that name, Peyton.
Peyton and Caden.
That's
Peyton
nice.
and Caden. So
Yeah,
you just
hi,
never
Peyton, hi,
know.
Caden.
Hey, Peyton. Hey, Caden.
And Caden will say hi back. I think we were doing makeup earlier. Let me tell y'all, I have to say this. Tyra's doing my hair. He see her behind me. He like, Ma, who that? We on FaceTime. I said, that's Tyra. He said, oh, hey. Like, I'm like, you all in my background. To see. But he was like, oh, what you doing? So I just think those are the things people don't think about sometimes. And imagine yourself in that scenario. Something brand new you might not know about. And it could be the rest of your life that you potentially have to additionally care for this child. So when you don't think about it like that, you know, and that's a whole nother layer of a whole nother layer. Yeah, so you just want to make sure that you take the time to have those discussions to understand that you guys are both mentally ready to go into that encounter. But I do have another question. It's not really about the kids, but it's still about the family structure, y'all. Okay, and it's kind of like the question of the week. All right. if you're married and one of your parents passes away, okay, and leaves you an inheritance, they left you some big guap, a house, the cash, maybe they had a good life insurance policy, stocks, annuities, all those types of things that they might have prepared for. Does that money become your money, your property, you know what I'm saying, your stocks, or is it y'all money, y'all property, y'all stocks? And so I'm gonna leave it there first, and then as a follow-up question, but I'm curious about just like yes or no, is it your money or y'all money?
Ours.
It's y'all's. Okay, what about you?
So to me, it depends on how responsible your partner is and how the choice you made and the person that you're with. So if you're with someone who is financially responsible, someone who is independent, someone who really the number one thing is financial responsibility, then you can say it's ours because they make positive choices. If you're with someone who is never come into any money before, when they do get it, they blow it, I think it's in your best interest to say, this is my money and I'm going to manage the finances. Yes. So it really depends on the partner.
That's a really good perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, if I had somebody that was in my life and we had this situation, they wouldn't be in my life if they didn't already have that financial understanding, because I wouldn't accept them, because I do, so I need my partner with that too. So it'd definitely be ours for sure. Most definitely has to be.
For me, it depends. Like, for example, if this house was in my family for X amount of years, because I don't know if you guys saw it, it was a situation of an older lady who recently was actually displaced from her home because, let's just put it like this, she passed on, left it to her child. It became him and his wife, their property, whatever. They left it to her, like all of their children. Some of them weren't his. These kids basically, this is the last piece of property. Let me just give you this. One of those kind of like they trying to get you out the neighborhood so they could build a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Long story short, that's exactly what ended up happening. Damn. Each of the kids sold their portions, so they ended up selling the largest share of ownership. And this woman gets nudged out of a house that's been in her family for 90-something years. So for me, I agree with Ra on that financial responsibility, but I'm going to be a little bit more protective of family heirlooms, things that have been around for a while. But outside of that, I agree. I'm comfortable with that being something that's ours, because the whole point of accumulating wealth is to pass it down. And if that's my husband, then it's our wealth, and we're going to pass that down eventually someday to our children.
As long as we together.
As long as we still together. You know what I'm saying?
You won't be taking my coin to go be with KC.
No, and I think when you inherit stuff like that, some of it should be put to, you know what I'm saying, where it can continue to grow and trust. So that so that way you're protected a little bit.
Set up them estates, y'all.
Yes,
Set them
yes,
up,
and also when you don't know which you want to think the best of your kids, right? You want to think they're gonna be amazing,
may not be that responsible.
but they might not be that responsible. So you should make it so that they get money at certain points in their life. Like you hit 25, you get this. You get 35, you hit this. Now you 37, you get this. And if you're in this place, you get it. And then make it so not only they receive money, but their children, and their children.
And that's something I'm so happy that I said that.
It's so cool,
because y'all
like
know that this financial education is literacy is not always discussed in our communities. And
extremely important. Might be the most important thing.
So wait, there's a separate thing about it, or whatever the case is. For someone, would you be offended if your spouse got a bag and didn't tell you though?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. I need to know that. We got some money? Where the money at? What we get? I need to know immediately.
If you could hide an inheritance or a bag like that to me,
you hiding
it's a lot you can hide, but also that really speaks volumes to me about what you think of me. Because if you don't feel like that's something you can share with me, that's going to be my greater question. Why would you feel the need to hide this from me? You know what I'm saying? So for me, that's a hands down.
So after I get the lawyer and I get my half, I'm out of there. Because you ain't trust me to begin with.
Yeah, this old jig is up. Party over.
Okay.
Can we jump into the get it off your chest? Because I got something I want to say.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This is big for everybody. Maybe some of us in this room. I don't know. But let's stop expecting different behaviors from the same actions. That's a big one for me. Like, you can't come to people asking for advice for the same type of advice you've been asking for the past 10 years and expect a different end result.
I feel like you was in my house last week or something.
Isn't it a common thing? Like, it's so unfortunate how common it is that it happens, where you're like, well, and then when you point it out, you're kind of like the bad guy.
Yes.
You have to kind of be that friend that, or whoever, family member.
were you in my home last weekend?
Possibly.
I swear.
In spirit.
This literally happened a week ago, you know. And I say this, it had a positive outcome in the end. Before we had to fight it out because it was one of those situations. This is my friend.
Do you beat your men?
This wasn't a man.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't. I
Damn,
don't beat
that just went left quick.
and we do not condone
you beat
domestic
the
violence.
shit out
And
your
if you
partners?
and if you
ONSITE
have
says
benefit,
that.
call
The number is
1-800 HOPE. Okay.
Haters.
I'm sorry, but what I was gonna say is it was with a friend. So this is a friend of mine since high school. We were 14 years old when we met each other, and we're still friends to this day. But there was a period in life where we were not that close, and the reason that we weren't is because like me and another friend of mine were kind of tired of giving the same advice about certain like stop asking me because you're gonna go back to that thing that's already toxic that we've told you, and it's but so much that we're gonna sit around while you're not growing and being the definition of insanity, like, because that's literally what it is, doing the same thing over and over and think you're going to have a different outcome. So to me, it's like, yes, I can excuse it the first time, but after a while, to me, it's like, do I really have to tell you, or are you just asking so you can hear another person? Because you know damn well that you need to let go of XYZ. I'm not about to sit here on the sidelines and watch you do it over. So we had that argument. And there are some people who own it and be like, "You right, I was on that." And then there are some people who, like you said, will make you the like the bad guy because you called them on their. Those people you got to leave in 2023 if you haven't already.
Yeah, most definitely. I despise people like that because I'm a communicative person. Like if I tell you one thing, I tell you again. The third time I'm coming to say. Like, come on, because miscommunication.
Oh, you mean God bless you?
Oh yeah, my bad. Let me pull it back.
God bless you.
Yeah, God bless you. Because
you
like,
passing blessings.
yeah,
Right.
miscommunication is like disrespecting. That's how I feel. Like if you miscommunicating to me, like you disrespecting me because you know I'm communicating with you. Like you doing that on purpose now. Like I told you I don't like this. I told you this is what we own, and I'm coming as a real person, having a real severe conversation with you, and you constantly do it, man. It's
You have
like
your
God
own
bless you.
clothing line?
Yes. This is one of my brands right now. Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. What does it
Very
say?
nice.
Just what?
Just don't relent. JDR is my initials.
I was just about to say
part of my
because
brand.
his initials on his hat.
Yeah, it's part of my
don't
brand.
relent.
Yeah, I got other ones. One of the ones, Chris Brown, Little Baby, you owe
So
me
you
money.
have sweatsuits
Not
and hats
Yeah.
and
Yeah, they went on the whole
what's
tour.
all of the pieces that you have in the line?
I got sweatsuits, I got hats, I got boxers, I got socks, I got duffel bags, backpacks, I got everything across the
I think
whole
the last
gambit.
3 outfits for the
yeah,
last
they've
3
been
weeks.
fire.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's like I'm sitting here, I'm reading
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
And then
And,
realize
then afterwards, at the end, it's all come together.
Now we
I'm
pull
like,
together like, yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, Organic
that
Lifestyle is the
definitely
brand.
says-
Where can they get into that?
where
Yeah.
can
What I
I get
did-
it?
Organic Lifestyle is organic with a K, lifestyle with a Y.com. I got like 6 different clothing lines.
Right here.
This is one of my newest brands, is JDR, Just Don't Relent. It's just the mode I've been in this last year of growing as a personal brand for myself. So JDR is my initials, but I want everybody to be the best person they can be and just don't relent on themselves. It is my name, but I want you to use your own name as, yourself to build it. Don't be like nobody else, but that's what it
I
stands
love
for.
that
That's fire.
message. I
Yeah.
love that. I
That's
did
what it's
peep
about.
that you
That's
did
fire,
say
and
some
it's
people owe
nice,
you
it's
some money.
Thank you.
quality, it
Yeah.
looks good.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I take pride in the brand.
Did
You
you
know?
miss did nobody else catch in the middle when he
Yeah, I
called
be
2 people out
forgetting.
who owe him money though?
Oh yeah, motherfuckers owe me money.
He was like, "Yeah, just don't relate."
Yeah,
So
Little
you
Baby
owe me
Chris
money.
Brown used my brand. They used my one of the ones. That's mine. I own that trademark. I've been saying since a kid. I owned it since 2015. It's my logos and everything. They went on full tour with my exact logo. One of the ones y'all hear it around. That's my brand. I own the trademark patent, and I own the logos. But that saying. So yeah,
I got a fire lawyer that deals with that if
I
you
need
need
that.
him.
I got litigation, a lawyer that's sitting by it now. But if you got one too, send them over. We'll get paid.
Beast.
And I show you the logos. You'll be like, oh, I'll give you a little portion too on document.
All he do is that.
I'ma
Is tear
need
their
that.
asses up.
It's mine.
Intellectual property.
Yeah,
own
that's
all of
important.
that. That's me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I take my brand very seriously. And I remember one time
should.
I did an interview and somebody like, oh, he wearing some. They talking about my clothes, but it's
Oh,
my
that
brand.
was the one on the street.
Yeah,
right?
they talking about what
So
is he
I
wearing?
saw
Like
that
this, I made
clip.
millions of dollars with this brand. You stupid peasant.
because he was talking about himself, and the comments was like, "Oh, he talking like that with that on," and then so it was like, "Do y'all realize he's wearing his?" Like,
The millions I'm
like-
talking about, I was making $50,000 a month in my apartment on my own brand. So I'm looking like these weirdos don't
And these are
understand.
the same people that'll see Kanye in something and go buy it.
Yeah, or
and-
if I had Louis Vuitton, be the
ridiculous.
same
Yeah,
colors, but it's just Louis. Oh,
yeah.
they're fire. Like y'all
Yes.
some
Yeah.
People
servants.
always just trolling. They
Followers.
was looking for
Yeah.
something to
Yeah, it's
say.
all good. It's
and
all
it was,
good.
and it's not like it wasn't well put together. But
I appreciate
you know.
that. Appreciate it. But thank you. Yes.
Okay.
But you
You're
know,
welcome.
guys, I think that what I really appreciated this week's conversation because it was definitely a topic that you're not always talking about, but necessary is to talk about. We cut over here, y'all, but we do care about the things that matter too. So with that being said, you know, y'all gonna have to spin the block and come back next time.
They're gonna have to do that.
Trying to catch any of the rest of this good stuff. For now, that's all we have on
On
the contrary.